Nearly every cast that day ended with a fish on the line. What made it unusual was that I wasn't using premium bait, expensive additives, or any of the latest products from a tackle store. My bait consisted of nothing more than ordinary rice mixed with a few inexpensive spices that anyone could buy at a local grocery store. Yet this simple recipe repeatedly outperformed many of the heavily promoted fishing products that anglers spend large amounts of money on. After seeing the results on multiple trips, I knew there had to be more to the story. In this video, I'll show you what makes this bait effective, how to prepare it properly, and why costly fishing products are often not the deciding factor in a successful day on the water. The story started several years ago when I went fishing with a friend who had grown up around the rivers of Southeast Asia. In the areas where he learned to fish, most people couldn't justify spending money on expensive tackle, so they relied on simple ingredients such as bread, dough, rice, and common household spices. When we headed out together, I felt confident that my equipment would give me the upper hand. I had quality rods, branded bait, and all the products that fishing companies constantly promote. My friend, on the other hand, arrived with a small container holding a plain yellow mixture that looked far from impressive. It didn't take long for me to realize that I had underestimated him. While I sat waiting for bites, he was steadily catching fish. The most surprising part was that his homemade bait was clearly outperforming everything I had brought with me. Seeing that happen made me question a lot of what I thought I knew. Why was a simple mixture producing better results than products developed and marketed specifically for anglers? The deeper I dug into the subject, the more I discovered that fishermen were catching impressive numbers of fish long before modern bait companies existed. They depended on basic ingredients and natural food sources that were readily available. Many of those traditional techniques are still effective today, and in certain situations they can outperform modern commercial baits. The difference often has very little to do with price and everything to do with understanding what actually attracts fish and encourages them to feed. After years of fishing, I've come to realize that success on the water depends on much more than expensive gear or simple luck. In many cases, the deciding factor is how fish detect and respond to a bait beneath the surface. Species such as carp, bream, catfish, and other bottom feeders spend most of their lives searching for food along the bottom. Yet many anglers concentrate almost entirely on appearance, even though fish often rely on senses other than sight. In stained water or deeper areas, fish commonly locate food through scent long before they ever see it. Underwater, they navigate through a constant stream of chemical signals and food cues. That's why some baits seem invisible to fish while others attract attention from a surprisingly wide area. Once you understand this, it changes the way you think about what makes a bait effective. This is one reason rice caught my attention. Beyond being inexpensive and easy to find, rice has a unique ability to absorb aromas and slowly release them into the water. When combined with turmeric, the effect becomes even more noticeable. The grains take on the spice's scent and gradually create a steady trail of attraction around the bait. Instead of simply resting on the bottom, the bait continues sending signals that encourage fish to investigate. The most surprising part was how consistently this simple combination competed with, and often outperformed, much more expensive commercial products. During my testing, I also noticed something else. Many anglers spend endless time worrying about bait color, believing the perfect shade will make all the difference. But in deep water or low visibility conditions, color is often far less important than people think. In those situations, scent, confidence, and natural presentation can matter much more than the exact appearance of the bait. Fish don't always rely on their eyes when searching for food. More often, they follow scent trails and feeding signals moving through the water. That's why a plain-looking bait can sometimes outperform expensive, brightly colored options found in tackle stores. One of the biggest strengths of this rice mixture is that it slowly releases its scent over time, creating a steady trail that can draw fish toward the bait long after it reaches the bottom. Many liquid attractants and commercial sprays create a strong initial scent but lose effectiveness relatively quickly. Rice behaves differently. Once prepared correctly, it continues releasing subtle food signals for an extended period, helping maintain a fish's interest. This concept isn't new. For generations, anglers have enhanced their baits with natural ingredients such as anise, herbs, and various oils because they understood that natural aromas can be highly effective at attracting fish. Of course, even the most effective bait won't produce results if it's presented in the wrong place. That's why I focus far more on locating fish than on constantly changing rigs or experimenting with complicated setups. Areas with depth transitions, hard bottoms, gravel bars, shell beds, and changing currents are often the places where fish naturally gather and feed. One lesson has become increasingly clear to me over the years. Fish don't respond to advertising, brand names, or expensive packaging. They respond to what appears natural and appealing in their environment. Even today, despite countless new bait formulas and attractants entering the market every year, many traditional fishing methods continue to deliver excellent results. That alone says a lot about what truly matters when it comes to consistently catching fish. With time, I started to understand that good fishing results come from many small decisions working together. There is no single trick that guarantees fish every time. Water temperature, weather, fish activity, the chosen spot, and the way the bait is presented all matter. Anglers who catch fish consistently are usually the ones who pay attention to these details and adjust to the conditions. A common mistake is thinking that an expensive bait will do all the work. But fish don't care how much something costs. They react to what feels safe, natural, and worth eating. So the goal is not just to throw a hook into the water and wait. The goal is to offer something that makes fish curious enough to come closer and take it. That is why I became interested in old homemade fishing recipes. Before tackle shops were filled with modern bait products, anglers used simple ingredients they already had in the kitchen. And the more I studied those methods, the more I realized that many of the best ideas were surprisingly simple. This rice and spice bait is a good example. Anglers have used recipes like this for years, especially for carp and other large bottom-feeding fish. The ingredients are basic, but the preparation makes all the difference. Two fishermen can use the same rice and get completely different results. That's where many beginners go wrong, and that's why the next step is so important. Preparing this bait is simple, but a few small details make a huge difference. Begin by boiling water and mixing in turmeric. Once the color and aroma have fully spread through the water, add regular long-grain rice and simmer it gently until the liquid is absorbed. The key is not to overcook it. The grains should stay firm and hold their shape. If the rice becomes too soft, it won't stay on the hook properly and will lose much of its effectiveness. When the rice is finished cooking, allow it to cool completely before placing it in the refrigerator for several hours, preferably overnight. Many anglers overlook this step because it seems unimportant, but it can dramatically improve the final result. In fact, one of the biggest advantages of this bait comes from taking the time to let it rest and firm up. Freshly cooked rice is soft and delicate. A powerful cast can easily knock grains off the hook, and the bait may fall apart quickly once it reaches the water. Chilled rice is completely different. It becomes tougher, holds together better, and remains securely on the hook even during long casts or when fishing in current. That added durability alone can improve your chances of keeping the bait where it needs to be. But the real advantage goes beyond strength. As the rice sits underwater, it slowly releases its scent instead of giving off a quick burst that disappears within minutes. This creates a steady attraction zone around the hook for a much longer period. Think about a carp, catfish, or bream feeding near the bottom in stained water. Visibility may be poor, but fish can still detect food through scent. In situations like that, a bait that releases a consistent trail of attraction can be far more effective than one that relies mainly on visual appeal. That's one of the reasons a simple homemade bait can sometimes produce better results than expensive products from the tackle shop. The secret isn't the price tag, it's preparing the bait properly and letting it do what it was designed to do. As I continued experimenting with rice, I decided to try adding another everyday ingredient. To be honest, I didn't expect it to make much difference at first. That ingredient was plain vanilla extract. The same vanilla commonly used in baking. It may sound like an unusual addition to a fishing bait, but the results quickly caught my attention. When the warm, earthy scent of turmeric is combined with a light touch of vanilla, the bait develops a much more complex aroma. On waters where fish are constantly exposed to the same commercial bait scents, this subtle change can sometimes make the bait stand out. The important thing is not to overdo it. You want a faint hint of sweetness, not a powerful scent cloud. Fishing often rewards balance rather than extremes. A small amount of vanilla can complement the mixture nicely, while too much can reduce its effectiveness and make the bait seem unnatural. Of course, even a great bait needs to be presented correctly. When fishing in moving water, I usually group several grains together on the hook while leaving the hook points slightly exposed. Then I cast upstream and let the rig drift naturally along the bottom. As the bait moves through rocks, gravel, and other underwater features, it gradually releases its scent, creating a trail that fish can detect and follow. It's a simple adjustment, but small details like this often separate an average day from a truly successful one. When fishing lakes, ponds, and other calm waters, patience often becomes one of the most important tools you have. Fish in these environments tend to be far more wary than people expect. They may approach a bait several times before deciding to take it. Because of that, bulky rigs, heavy leaders, or unnatural presentations can easily scare fish away at the last second. Whenever possible, I prefer a subtle setup that allows the bait to look as natural as it can. Still, tackle alone won't determine the outcome. In my experience, location is far more important than the rod or reel being used. Expensive equipment can help you place a bait accurately, but it won't tell you where the fish are. Before I ever make a cast, I spend time watching the water. Small patches of bubbles, movement along the shoreline, or occasional disturbances on the surface can often reveal where fish are actively feeding. One thing I've noticed over the years is that successful anglers rarely catch more fish because they constantly switch baits. More often, they succeed because they understand the water in front of them. Rather than casting at random and hoping for a bite, they focus on locating active fish and presenting the bait in a way that appears completely natural. Weather also plays a larger role than many anglers realize. Sudden changes in barometric pressure can dramatically affect fish behavior. You've probably experienced days when fish were feeding aggressively one evening and barely showed any interest the next morning. During these periods, fish often become cautious and less willing to investigate unfamiliar food sources. That's why subtle presentations and natural scents frequently outperform strong attractants when conditions become difficult. One of the biggest strengths of simple, natural baits is that they rarely overwhelm fish with harsh artificial scents. Instead, they blend into the environment and often appear more like a natural food source. This becomes especially valuable when fishing is slow and fish are feeding cautiously. I've seen plenty of anglers spend hours changing baits, flavors, and attractants with little success, while a basic rice bait quietly continued producing bites. Of course, bait alone is never the entire answer. If the tackle is too obvious or the presentation looks unnatural, even an excellent bait can be ignored. When targeting wary fish, particularly in clear water, I prefer thinner leaders and a more subtle approach. Time and time again, I've found that success depends less on expensive equipment and more on small details such as presentation, location, and understanding the mood of the fish. Eventually, you begin to see that fishing is really a combination of many small factors. There's no miracle bait that solves every problem. Consistent success comes from putting the pieces together correctly. When location, presentation, conditions, and bait all work in harmony, bites become far more predictable and far less dependent on luck. Seasonal changes are a perfect example. During the hottest part of summer, fish often become sluggish and difficult to catch. Many anglers react by constantly changing baits or increasing the strength of their attractants. Yet I've often found that simple natural mixtures continue to perform well when stronger scents stop producing results. Then fall arrives, water clarity increases, and fish become more cautious. At that point, a natural-looking presentation becomes even more important. Sometimes the least aggressive bait is exactly what convinces a cautious fish to feed. One simple trick I like to use is rolling the rice lightly in dark soil taken from the shoreline before fishing. Doing this helps the bait blend into the bottom and look far less suspicious to wary fish. What makes the method interesting is that while the bait becomes harder to see, it still releases the same attractive scent. For species like carp, bream, and other cautious bottom feeders, that extra bit of concealment can sometimes make a noticeable difference. It might seem like an insignificant adjustment, but fishing is often won or lost through details like these. A small change in presentation can dramatically improve results. Fish don't make decisions based on one factor alone. More often, they respond to a combination of signals, and every small advantage helps stack the odds in your favor. Winter, however, creates a completely different set of conditions. As water temperatures fall, fish become less active and feed far more cautiously. Methods that work well during the warmer months don't always produce the same results once the cold arrives. When I first tried using whole rice grains in winter, I quickly discovered that fish showed very little interest in them. After some experimenting, I came up with a better solution. Instead of using whole grains, I began mashing the cooked rice and blending it with a little oat flour to create a soft, compact mixture. Underwater, it slowly releases a faint cloud around the hook that attracts fish without overwhelming them. This approach has worked especially well during difficult periods when species like roach, bream, and other panfish seem reluctant to feed. One thing I've learned over the years is that challenging conditions rarely reward the most expensive bait. More often, success comes from simple methods that have been adapted to match the season and the behavior of the fish. That's why using the exact same strategy throughout the year rarely produces the best results. Fish behavior changes dramatically from season to season, and successful anglers adjust their presentation accordingly. What many people call fishing luck is often nothing more than making the right adjustments at the right time. Small changes may seem insignificant, but together they can have a major impact on the outcome of a trip. After countless fishing sessions and experiments with this bait, I've come to one conclusion: there is no universal bait that works perfectly in every situation. However, there are reliable techniques that can improve your odds when conditions are right. That's how I view this rice and turmeric mixture. It's not a miracle cure for slow fishing, but it is a practical and effective option that deserves a place in any angler's toolbox. More importantly, don't take anyone's word for it. Not mine, not an article, and not a video. The real test happens on the water. Every lake, river, pond, and reservoir is different, and personal experience is still the best teacher. You may find that this recipe works exceptionally well in your area, or you might tweak it and develop an even better version. That process of experimenting and learning is one of the things that makes fishing so enjoyable. If you decide to give this bait a try, let me know how it performs. I always enjoy hearing about results from different waters and different parts of the country. And if you found this video useful, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps me continue creating practical fishing content and sharing proven ideas from the water. Thanks for watching, and I hope your next trip brings plenty of action. See you in the next video.